Well, guys, we need to talk about Tucker Carlson here in this video. Now, I believe it's been a few months now since he's actually been, quote unquote, fired by Fox. Even though I do believe he's still on the payroll, they have pretty much sidelined him until his contract actually runs out. So he has been fired. But what is the reason why he was truly fired? There's a lot of theories out there. I don't believe we know definitively what actually led to him being fired. But you guys remember, Tucker actually did have the January 6th files. Ken McCarthy actually gave it to Tucker, and he played one clip, actually several clips on his show on Fox. Now, Tucker does not operate he didn't operate out of the Fox studios in New York. I believe Tucker actually lives down in Florida or somewhere, maybe DC area. I'm not really sure, but he was not actually operating out of Fox. And we know that the establishment, they do not like Tucker. They don't. Now, Fox is supposed to be a conservative network, but they have been exposed. Ever since they fired Tucker, their ratings have been in the trash. They got exposed for trying to promote alphabet stuff to their employees. And Fox is nothing more than establishment. And of course, they have a lot of BlackRock ads and stuff like that. So they're concerned about their ESG scores, it seems. Now, I used to reference Fox articles and quite a few videos, but I really don't do it that much anymore. I don't. I scan the internet for everything when it actually comes to content. But Fox, they are nothing more than frauds. They are. But Tucker appeared on Russell Brand's podcast here, and he dropped something that has the internet roaring right now. Because it seems like, his firing may have actually been leaked, or linked, I should say, to January 6th. He had those files, but however, it ain't just the files. He dropped a bombshell on Russell Brand's podcast, and it was actually going to air on Fox, but he got fired right before that. Look at this, guys. Tucker Carlson tells Russell Brand he was fired from Fox News right before revealing January 6th riot was filled with feds. Yes. Now, the establishment narrative of J6 is this was a violent insurrection to overthrow the United States government. Now, I got to tell you guys, if that was an insurrection, man, these guys didn't do a good job of being insurrectionists. Like, none of these guys had weapons. How in the world are you going to actually overthrow the government with a couple of flagpoles? I mean, this wasn't organized in the least bit. You still got people rotting in jail right now just for walking into the Capitol, when you actually have, in some cases, the police just telling them, hey, go in. Capitol Police escorting them in, just like what they call the QAnon shaman, Jacob Chansley. He was in prison, and you actually see Capitol Police just giving him a tour of the Capitol. He got thrown in prison, and what do you know, guys? When that video footage that Tucker actually released of Jacob Chansley, what do you know? He gets released from prison. Yeah. But let's go ahead and dive into this here, guys. It says here, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson dropped a massive bombshell during his recent guest appearance on the Stay Free podcast, telling show host Russell Brand that the crowd outside of the U.S. Capitol at the time when riots took place on January 6, 2021, was filled with federal agents. A lot of people have actually been speculating on that. And you remember, guys, the day before, that was actually the guy telling all the people, hey, we need to go into the Capitol. And the whole crowd was like, no, 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 no. Fed, 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 Fed. They would call him a Fed. And I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head right now, but for some reason, I have a blank right now on this guy's name. No jail time for him, no nothing, even though he was actually telling the crowd, we need to go into the Capitol. Yeah. You guys refresh my memory on his name right here. But let's go ahead and listen to Tucker right here. This is Charlie Kirk's tweet right here. It says Tucker Carlson tells Russell Brand that an interview he conducted with Chief of the Capitol Police. Yes, the Chief of the Capitol Police. Stevenson told him the J6 crowd was filled with federal agents. Listen into this, guys.
They immediately recoiled when you asked any questions about January 6th. And that was a tip-off to me. I mean, I had no thought in my head as I watched this happen on television and in the subsequent weeks that U.S. law enforcement or military agencies had anything to do with it. That never crossed my mind. I never thought that it was a false flag or anything like that. I'm not a conspiracist by temperament. I never thought that. And then I interviewed the chief of the Capitol Police, Stephen Sund, in an interview that was never aired on Fox, by the way. I was fired before it could air. I'm going to interview him again. But Stephen Sund was the totally non-political, worked for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this was not some right-wing activist. He was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he said, oh, yeah. That crowd was filled with federal agents. What? Yes. Well, he would know, of course, because he was in charge of security at the site. So the more time has passed.
So right there, guys, right there, Tucker said the crowd was filled with federal agents, and Fox, I'm pretty sure, knew about this. They knew about this interview with the Capitol Chief of Police. Now, why would the Chief of the Capitol Police, why would he lie about this? Why? And Tucker gets fired. A bunch of people actually get put in prison or still in jail right now without trial. I mean, this should not be happening here in the United States. Now, the people that actually did go out there and riot and fight police, yes, they should be prosecuted. And in some cases, some of these people have. But for people that weren't even at the Capitol, some of these people weren't even at the Capitol, got arrested. I mean, this is astonishing, guys. And of course, the establishment narrative is this was the worst day in the history of this country. And Fox, they wanted to silence Tucker. That's probably the reason, guys, why Fox doesn't even want Tucker to have his show Tucker on Twitter, because he's probably about to drop a bombshell. I highly suggest that Tucker actually has the chief of the Capitol Police on Tucker on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure Fox is not going to like that. Man, this is astonishing. We're still learning a whole bunch about probably why Tucker was fired. I mean, Fox is establishing media. There's still people over there that are like, but as a company, no. Do not trust Fox. Do not trust him. I mean, Rupert Murdoch, man, he's a fraud. He is a fraud. He is all a part of the establishment. And Fox, they really care about their ESG scores, man. They do. Tucker, he wasn't like that. Tucker is a man of the people, and Fox News, they're not. That is why their ratings are now in the trash. But shout out to Tucker, man. Man, that's a bombshell right there. That really, really is a bombshell, guys. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.